Aloha, my name is Hetrick, proud principal of Aliamanu Middle School and the proud recipient of the 24-25 Masayuki Tokioka Award for Central District, Aiea, Manalo, and Radford complexes. One fun fact about Aliamanu Middle School is that we are built on an old landfill. So when I say we're always moving and shaking, I mean that figuratively and literally. One of the things that we're focused here at Aliamanu Middle School is the GLO of being an effective communicator. We realized throughout the years that during classroom presentations, or especially in our interview process for our Japan trip or for our AVID program, that our students was not using their voice, that they were really short on the answers, they were not elaborating. And we wanted to know what we could do as a school to help them with those skills, because we know that in life, that these skills are going to be very, very important. So our goal for our students is to build that confidence so that we want them to be able to look someone in the eye, to elaborate on their answers, and to use their charisma and poise to get their points across. So we needed to reflect back on what we can do as a school so that our kids can enhance those skills, so that they can be better when it's time for high school presentations, college applications, and more importantly, job interviews in their future. So knowing that we wanted to focus on these GLO effective community skills, we did it in a multitude of ways. So the first way we've done it was through a competition called the Amazing Shake. We realized that this competition really focused on eye contact, charisma, confidence, common sense. And so we felt that that could be a start of how we can get our kids interested in working on these skills. The basis of our competition is the first levels. You could be a principal and you got to think on your feet of electives that you wanted to share with the community, or you could be hosting a Tonight Show. You could also be in a room with 30 professionals and you just got to work the room and show your charisma and your conversational skills. And at the higher level is we take our students to the mayor's office and the superintendent's office, and they got to do interviews with them, and putting them in these high stress environments and having the kids to be able to come out on top. And has been something that has been really helpful for us. And at the end goal is the Amazing Shake, the Global Amazing Shake Challenge at the Ron Clark Academy, which our kids have been participating for the last 4 years. And I'm proud to say that this past year at the Global Amazing Shake Challenge at the Ron Clark Academy, one of our students placed in the top 10 with over 300 plus candidates that Hawaii students can, and given the opportunities that they can succeed. But I did realize at this point that that was only 100 kids that participated in the program. So we wanted to make sure that we expanded to more kids and eventually all. So the next thing we did is we created a program, which is our Classroom Ambassador program, because now we can have more kids involved. So 50 classrooms, 7 periods. So we really train about 400 students. And what it is anytime a visitor or an adult comes into a classroom, the teachers don't have to miss a beat. It's nothing about them. A student will come up to the visitor, will introduce themselves, will welcome them, will mention who the teacher is, what type of classroom, and more importantly, what the learning target of the day. The student will also ask the visitor if there's any questions about the school or the class that they can share about, just to make the visitors welcome. But what that now does is for us, it's giving more students an opportunity to practice the skill of communicating with not just their peers, but with adults on our campus. Even though we were proud from going from 100 to 400, I think as an administrator and our job to build systems for all, we had to take the next step. So the way we did that is we implemented the Amazing Shake skills into our life wheels in both 7th and 8th grade. And we wanted to give all kids the opportunity to know that these skills exist, to know that they can work on it, and that it will impact them for the rest of their lives. You know, we have seen improvements since these programs and these systems have been put in place. It might not be quantitative data, but we have perception data. The high school has been giving us one of the biggest compliments. They said when our 9th graders go to them, that they see that they're willing to elaborate, they're confident in speaking in the classroom and with the teachers and with their colleagues, and they do elaborate more and they have charisma behind it. So it's really good to hear from our next level that the things that we are working on is making an impact, but we've also seen in our own school, when kids give presentations or when they're doing their poetry slams or when they're interviewing for Japan or Avid, the quality is so much better when the kids have confidence enough to express themselves, and that's what we truly want to see with our kids. But none of this would be possible without a strong school culture. And for administrators, my advice for you is start with that. Make sure your faculty knows that you would do anything with them and not be top down at all. They gotta be able to trust you. So be willing to do the work at the school. Be willing to be the hardest worker at the school is gonna be vital, so that one day you can ask them and they're willing to run through a wall for you. But it takes time, but please be willing to put in the work. We are no better than anybody. Right? We just have different responsibilities. So how can we be there for our teachers, and not only when times are good, but when times are bad, and build that trust so that when it's time for you to do your asking, that they're more responsive and they're willing to do whatever it takes. And that's one thing I am proud about our school, is that whenever we have these ideas, whether it's Amazing Shake or wheel classes, that we set up a culture that someone is willing to raise their hand and say, I'll do it. One of the things I truly believe, that opportunities are given because adults let it happen. Any great school that has a program is because there's an adult there that was willing to do it. So at Alimmano, we preach that, we push that says no matter what we do, hopefully that there's somebody there to raise their hand and say, yes, that I would do it. So if I had any advice that I could give any new administrator, it truly is to make sure that your culture is at a place that when you're willing to ask, that they're willing to say yes. Because at the end of the day, we are on their journey, and we should never forget that. And we should be doing whatever it takes to make sure that we make their educational journey something that's great for them. Everyone a leader, everyone a learner. We is greater than me. Go Panthers.